If you're black, if you're melanated, if you have this skin and you're not mutually brown, come to the front. Come to the front because there is an update. There is an update as to why all of these things have literally been happening to black people. Come to the front. And for those of you that knows every single thing more than me, move to the back because this is a lecture hall this afternoon. Guys, I saw the clips of this video and I was like, no, my people deserve to see this video. Like, we deserve to see this video, not only me. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Guys, I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing my videos, dropping super thanks, joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. I'll go ahead and let you guys watch all of this video first before I say what I want to say, because if I say it, if I unleashed what is in my mind, let's go watch, guys. I'll be back with commentaries, educational purposes only.
The reason why every race on earth hates the black race is because we are the oldest people on the planet. The reason why every race, whether it be Asian, Indian, white, Hispanic, whatever, the reason they all have a deep hatred for the black-skinned, melanated, deeply melanated people is because we are in fact the original people of the planet. There was a point in history where 100% of planet Earth's population was deeply melanated black people. And it's important to make sure that black-skinned people are not aware of this fact because it's too empowering. This is why every race on earth works together to gang up on the black race and to emphasize every negative aspect of the black race to prevent this realization. If dark-skinned, black-skinned, deeply melanated people understood that at one point in history, planet Earth was 100% black, that planet Earth is in fact a black planet, that is too empowering. That fills you with too much pride, which is why there is constant attack on the psyche, on the self-esteem of the black race by every other race. There is no other people that has been ganged up on historically more than the black melanated people. Thoughts of the day, guys. What do you think about that?
People's issue with Black Americans is that we thrive in spite of what has happened to us and what continues to happen to us. When you think about it in the terms of slavery, we literally was not supposed to survive that. That was either one supposed to completely wipe us out or keep us as the inferior race. But in spite of that all, we still thrive. And people do not like that. Like, it is so crazy that you can go anywhere on this earth and they have a slur or they have some nasty intent when it comes to Black Americans. Our resilience and our ability to be unapologetically Black despite what happened to us is unfathomable to people. That kind of gives me that insight to the conversation that constantly happens around like the Black British people that literally cannot keep African American Americans out of their psyche. Like, the obsession with us is insane. I also seen a video, I want to say this was like last year, of a creator on here. It's the guy that usually goes around London, and he asks people about like Black Americans and like all that stuff. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but he basically stitched a video from a clip of some Black British people talking about why some Black British are so angry with Black Americans. And basically he was saying along the lines is that we are unapologetically Black out loud, and that's not necessarily something that they can do in London. So when they see us doing it, they're like, how dare y'all? Like, how dare you basically be unapologetically Black around these white people? That's essentially what I got from that video. Like, how are you gonna be mad at us because you don't want to be yourself? Like, you want to box yourself in, but then look at other people from that box that are being themselves and attack them for it. Like, that is so crazy. Whenever the Black British people get on here and they go on a tirade about us, I just have to giggle and laugh. But I always think of that video. It comes from a place of jealousy because, once again, we thrive in spite of what happened to us. The crazy thing is, they can do the very thing if they weren't worried about us every 2 to 4 business days. And I don't even want to play into this diaspora thing because it's really just so stupid. Because at the end of the day, it just boils down to the fact that they hate our resilience. That's what that is.
Welcome back to class. Today's lesson tackles the phrase, if Black people are so great, then why were they conquered? Well, why and how has anyone ever been conquered? Because conquest is not proof of superiority. It's actually usually proof of deep insecurity, greed, and fear. And let's be clear, human history is a long one, long enough for every race, region, and empire to rise and fall. The Romans fell, the Persians, Chinese dynasties, Aztec kingdoms, Greek city-states, they all fell, and surprise, surprise, did you know that African empires existed, thrived, and fell as well? Mali, Ghana, Songhai, Nubia, Axum, Great Zimbabwe, all powerful empires that in the span of human existence once existed in powerful splendor for over hundreds of years and then ultimately fell. So the power structures that we see today aren't permanent truths. They're just snapshots in time, because a fall from power is not a reflection of worth. And let's underscore that one does not colonize a place that has nothing. You colonize because there is enough value for you to go to war and risk your entire life over it, whether that's the land or people and or what those people harness. And let's talk about what it actually means to be strong and this idea that Africans were conquered because they were weak. It does not take a genius to kill, pillage, enslave, or erase, because violence is primitive. Empathy, however, is evolved. It is a very fundamental component that humans pride themselves on having in order to separate ourselves from all of the other animals. Though actions do speak louder than words, there is an African American saying that goes, "You are lucky that we're only asking for equality and not revenge," because the real flex is choosing love over retaliation. It's building in the face of destruction. It's forgiving when the world tells you to rage. And isn't it wild that Black people are still feared, but still hired to raise children, build cities, style culture, refine cuisine, inspire souls through music, and uphold the moral fabric of many bankrupt nations that they are subjugated to, yet somehow are still labeled as dangerous, lazy, inferior, yet somehow also essential? White supremacy is not logical. It's not spiritual. It's not even sustainable. It only works through violence, theft, and narrative control. So if you're asking why Black people were conquered, maybe reframe that question to how and why are they still here? Because the truth is, the beauty of what makes us human is not our savage ability to take advantage of the kindness, empathy, and goodness that other humans have, but it's the ability of human decency in the face of such savagery. And let me keep it real for the ancestors, because they are not all kumbaya. You do not conquer greatness. You just delay its legacy with a little bit of context and memory moving forward. Class dismissed.
I don't think people realize how exhausting it is to be Black everywhere. Not just in America, not just in the South. I'm talking globally here. Because wherever we go, there's a version of the same fight that's just waiting for us. And it's one thing to feel like a second-class citizen in your own country, but it's another thing entirely to realize the whole world sees you that way too. You ever hear people say, just leave, America's the problem? As if racism is something that you can outrun. as if anti-blackness is some sort of American export. So let me tell you something. In Brazil, which is the blackest country outside of Africa, police kill black people like it's sport. But it's not just the cops, it's the beauty industry that sells skin bleach. It's the store owners that follow you. It's the neighbors that flinch when your child walks by. In the UK, you can speak perfect Queen's English, but still be denied housing, passed over for jobs, and told to go back to Africa like your birth certificate doesn't say Birmingham. In France, they don't need to say black to criminalize you. They just hide it behind secularism. They ban your head wrap, regulate your natural hair, silence your protest chants, and when you speak up, they act like you're the problem. And the people? They'll clutch their bags, they'll ignore you in interviews, and whisper the N-word when they don't think that you understand French. In China, black students were kicked out of housing during COVID, just for being African. But long before that, there were restaurant bans, fake job ads saying no blacks, and videos mocking our features going viral with millions of likes. In India, you'll be fetishized on one corner and insulted on the next. And if you're African, they'll stare, laugh, and sometimes they'll spit on you. In Ukraine, when the war broke out, white refugees got seats, and black refugees got barricades. In Libya, we're still being sold in 2025. And nobody's storming embassies for that. Let that sit, because being black is not the issue. The world's relationship with blackness is. And here's what bothers me the most. They want our rhythm, but not our presence. Our slang, our dances, our music, our clothing. But not our humanity. They'll rock locks on a runway but call them ghetto at school. They'll say Wakanda forever and still scream monkey at the next black soccer player. They'll ask to touch your hair, or not even ask. They'll mock your nose, and then turn around and say that you're too sensitive. And don't even get me started on influencers. Black American culture gets ridiculed as loud or uneducated until someone else steals it for likes. We're told that we don't have culture by people that are dancing to our beats, speaking our slang, and wearing our clothes. We are everywhere, but still nowhere. Loved, but not protected. Seen, but never safe. So if you've been feeling it too, that quiet, aching exhaustion that comes from just trying to exist, you're not broken, you're not paranoid, you're black, in a world that's been trained to hate you. That hate lives in systems, but it also lives in people, in the stares, in the silence, in the smiles that tighten when you walk into the room. But here's what they can't erase. We are global, we are ancient, and we are surviving. From Accra to Atlanta, London to Kingston, we are still here. And the moment we stop letting borders divide us, that's the moment we become unstoppable.
Y'all, I want y'all to listen to this, and y'all let me know if I'm telling you the truth or not. Just listen, please listen, stay to the end. So, being a black person, we endure a lot. We endure a lot. We have endured a lot. But anyone that know a real, genuine, kind black person know that we are loving people. We are forgiving people. We don't hold grudges. All we want is equality. So I heard this guy here on TikTok. He was talking, he's a Hispanic guy. He was talking about when he was a little boy, a little girl liked him and how she was coming on to him and, you know, how she kissed him. And he was like, whoa, what are you doing? And in his mind, he was thinking, she's cute. I want to be with her. But in the back of his mind, all he could hear was his parents telling him that black was not to trust black people. Lock your doors when black people come around. You can't be with a black girl. You can't. What? You mean to tell me every race is teaching their kids to dislike us? When we are loving, kind, gentle people, you got bad people in every race. You got good people in every race. I don't understand how people can teach their kids to dislike a person because of the color of their skin and not the content of their character. I don't understand that. But it happens. I went out of my own door at my shop, my back door at my shop. And as I was going out that door, it was an elderly white woman sitting in her car. As soon as that woman saw me, she went click, click, locked that door. As if I was going to do something to her. I was going to my trash can. She was at my back door. I should have been afraid, but I wasn't. What is it about us that have people so on edge? I know we're powerful. I know we're intelligent. I know we're beautiful inside and out. So what is it about the black race of people that make people be so on edge and so afraid of us? Can y'all please leave that comment over there in the comment section and help me out? All right, holla.
Y'all want to know why they hate that we celebrate Black History Month? It's because Black history is a constant reminder that their ancestors were the bad guys. All Black history is us overcoming the obstacles that their ancestors put in front of us. Imagine if they had a White History Month, right? What role would we play in White History Month other than we were the ones to help y'all achieve the things that y'all achieved? There's no part of white history where we would be the ones that held white people back from doing anything. But all Black History Month is white people put all of these barriers in front of black people and we overcame them. We achieved all of this greatness despite being the ones that were being abused and mistreated. And who were doing the abusing and the mistreatment? White people. So they don't like the fact that, us celebrating our history is just a reminder that, dang, they was the bad. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. Everybody wants to be the good guy. So if you was wondering like, dang, why they just won't let us have our own thing? Because that's why. It makes them look bad. Everything about Black history makes white people look bad because of what they did to us. If they would have treated us equally and fairly, it would just be history. It wouldn't be Black history. But we had to achieve our own greatness on our own because of how they treated us.
You go down the list of every race, they don't get the extent and the magnitude of hate that black people get. Yeah, they got racist remarks for them. Yeah, they got some racist history that bad things have been done to them. But to the level and the degree that the actual government itself is out to hate black people and spread that hate, what was it? What kicked that off? It couldn't have been just the skin. Like, what kicked that off? I want to know. When I always talk to a racist person, I say, why do you hate black people? They got a list of shit, but none of it ever makes sense. It's always like an insult. Oh, the big lips. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are half human. Or it's always some dumb shit. Y'all shoot up the neighborhoods and all of that. But it's never like, okay, what's the core reason you don't like black people?
Nah, you gotta.
What is the reason?
You gotta hate what you can't be, cause that's at the end of the day. Like you said, it make no sense.
Hey family, did I tell y'all about the conversation I had with this African woman from West Africa? And she and I were talking, and I said, you know what? I know that you all are taught in your country to not like black people, stay away from black people in America, black Americans, because you're told that we are lazy, that we are shiftless, that our men don't work, that our women are nothing but baby makers. And she looked at me in surprise. And I said, listen, let's have a real conversation. It's okay. And she said, you're right. They do tell us that. They tell us to only, if you come to America, be around white folk. Don't be around black Americans. And I said, you know what? This is the same conversation I had with another friend of mine who happens to be from Nigeria. And then I remember also having this same type of conversation with a friend of mine who is from where is she from? South Korea. North. Yeah, South Korea. And so I realized, guess what, y'all? The world teaches their people to hate black Americans. But you notice that we don't teach, us black Americans are not taught to hate others. And that is why, black people are always going to rise to the top. So when chaos happens, just like it's happening in the world today, with Trump, with the immigrant situation, we black Americans are going to be okay. Because we don't have the hatred and vitriol in our hearts. Now, I'm not saying that all black people, nothing's a monolith. And yeah, we got some outliers out there. But for the most part, the hate, the lies, the vitriol that other cultures and races have towards black people, we don't have towards anybody. And that is why we have been able to be blessed, and our generations have been blessed. And we have risen up from the ashes. And that's why we are now doctors, lawyers, astronauts, multimillionaires, hell, billionaires. So people, let them hate. We're going to continue to grow.
Why are black people so hated just based off of our skin color? It doesn't make sense, right? So I was watching the episode of the Grits and Eggs podcast, and Deontay Kyle, the host, he has grandma on for the 100th episode of their podcast. And I thought that was so cute because who don't love that granny, right? Shout out to the grannies. They're so inspirational. And her story was inspirational. She was at one point explaining her experience as a young professional in Alabama. And in this testimony, she posed the question or the thought as to why we are so hated as in Black people. Why are Black people so hated just based off of our skin color? It doesn't make sense, right? Now, I hear this question asked all the time, and I'm almost positive that everyone has heard the answer before, but they either don't believe it, they brush it off with no follow up, or just don't care. But the answer is because we are God's chosen people. We are the children of Israel. This answer is simple, but it is so layered at the same time. And while it sounds very generic and baseless, it is quite the opposite. But the truth is, it's not for everyone to understand. However, if you just take the time to look, it is literally hidden in plain sight. Have you ever wondered why Black people are so gifted, intelligent, athletic, talented, beautiful? Yet we remain at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And that's because it's not a logical explanation, it's spiritual. And this is a worldwide phenomenon. I always wondered this myself growing up.
A question that I asked, and I asked anybody, why are we hated so much? Because of the color of our skin.
Right. Me and Big had just went through a list of inventions and improvements. And I'm telling you that this country is shaped by our inventions and improvements.
Absolutely.
Two inventions that work in theory, but until a Black person came and improved it, it wasn't worth nothing. So I think that there may be a certain joy that we carry with us too, where we just are still experiencing joy regardless. We have a good time with each other. We commune with each other. And when we do, we have our own subset of problems, but we also have a lot of joy that we experience with it. And we make each other happy, And I think that the end goal is to create some type of misery within us, and we're just not miserable people. And then as much as you throwing at us, we still overcoming. We so resilient, and we're improving the lives of this nation that's around us constantly, right?
Let me tell you, when God says seek and you shall find, he was not lying, okay? Yes, we are God's chosen people, and not just because of our melanin. There are melanated people all around the world, yet they don't experience the same vitriol reserved for us and experienced by us. It's also not just because of our joy and resilience and intelligence and talent, and the list goes on and on. Yes, that plays a role, but that's not the whole of it. Those are just gifts that Yah has blessed us with as a sign and a wonder. Deuteronomy 28:46 says that the curses will be upon us as a sign and a wonder, a marker and an identifier, because we will not know who we are in the end times. Well, how much wonderful to juxtapose distinct curses with distinct blessings all in one people. And only Yah could do something like that. What are these signs, you may ask? Come back for part 2 because I have so much more to tell you.
Yeah, I usually have white people in my comments talking about, well, if a white person said some of the things that you said, or if a white person said some of the things that were in these comments, the whole world will have a meltdown, and there's a double standard that you guys keep talking about. Let me explain this double standard to you, and let me explain how you guys are the ones that actually reinforce this double standard. Now, a couple of weeks ago, a gentleman drove his car into a crowd of people in Liverpool. Now, I don't even know if there were any fatalities because the media did not carry this nearly enough as much as they should have. They didn't carry it as much as they would have if this was somebody else, but I'll get to that. I don't know if there are any fatalities, but you see how that came and went, and the general public is not blaming everybody who's the same race as him. They're not blaming his religion. Everybody understands that there are certain bad apples that do things that everybody else cannot be blamed for, as a civilized society should understand. Let this be a black person or a Muslim person or a person of ethnic minority that did something like that. Not only would the media have carried it differently and a lot more than they did for this gentleman, the attitude to the whole thing from the general public on social media, all of these things would have been completely different. And it's so ironic that we as people of ethnic minority keep accused of being uncivilized and barbaric and all of these things. Yet when something like this happens, we can be depended on to act civilized. We can be dependent on to understand that he doesn't represent everybody that's the same race as him. He doesn't represent everybody that's the same religion as him. But when it's somebody that looks like us, that does something like this, we're not given the same benefit of the doubt. And the irony is we're called uncivilized and we're called animalistic and we're called barbaric. Oh, the irony.
What did black people do to be hated so bad and so much? Like, I'm talking beyond slavery. Like, you know, today still. We was just watching the Hurricane Katrina uh, documentary on Hulu, and I'm like, bro, like, the folks literally lost everything, and then they came in treating them like they was criminals, and like, and then I was like, and then there was the one scene where they was saying how they, if they seen them, they was just shooting them, and the old white guy with the beard was like, yeah, man, it was like open season and some, and then the dude was like, well, how many do y'all think? It doesn't matter. Who really cares? I'm like, bro, like, we really done been through some stuff. And then I was telling my wife, I'm like, them same people in them documentaries, like, they still alive. It was only 20 years ago. Like, some of these people are still alive. We got no clue who they are, but that same energy, that same mindset, it still lives amongst us. And what bothers me the most is, like, everybody done always hated us, and then we help them out by hating ourselves. Like, we can't come together and work together. So we kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, bro. It bothers me.
Welcome back, guys, and I can tell you for a whole fact, for a fun fact, that there is no sugarcoating in all of those words that every single clips here have been able to say. There is no sugarcoating. That is the reality of black people, especially black Americans. There is this amount of hatred targeted towards us for the fact that you are a black person. And you know this annoying part is whenever there is an issue, they don't expect us to march out in mass. They don't expect us to come out. They don't expect us to stand. They don't expect us to fight for them. They don't expect black Americans to keep talking. They don't start asking questions. Why are the black community not saying anything? Without asking themselves question, why do you dislike this black community so much? And the truth is, every single thing they say here as to why a lot of people hate us, dislike us, despise us, it is because they have seen the glory. It is because we are their existence. We make things happen for them. We are the showstoppers. We are the show starters. That's just the honest truth. Just imagine a planet without black people. Imagine a planet without melanated skins. Imagine a planet without this type of beauty. What do you think that planet will be like? And I keep saying this, especially to my black Americans, right? One of the things I feel like it is still one of the reasons why these people just want to be distancing themselves or make it look like, oh, they're very strict when it comes to on their own end. It is because they know the power of black people. They know that we don't start a battle without finishing it. They know that if more chances is being given to us, in fact, they will not even be recognized in any of the history land. And that is why they're trying every single possible thing, every single possible way to make it look like black people are the problem. Black people are the cause. Black people are this. Black people are that. And as a black person, I can tell you for the fact that I'm not scared. I'm proud to be black. Because no matter how they have been trying to talk us down, no matter how they have been trying to make it look like we are not important, we are not worth it, we are still striving. We are still coming out strong. We are still wasting. In fact, we are still making them see that, hello, you really cannot do without us. Because imagine black Americans that have gone through slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, redlining. Name what these people have literally not been through, but they are still standing tall. Oh my God, AC, you need to be on. And you want me to now sit here and not be proud of my skin, not be proud of where I come from? I know that a lot of things have made a lot of people to question their existence, especially as a black person. But I want to use this opportunity to tell you that the potential inside of you is way bigger than what you are seeing. I want to use the opportunity to tell you that the grace you carry is a grace that every other race cannot carry. And that is why they cannot beat the drum or join us. That is why when it's something that is happening, everybody will be like, oh, I'm not black. All the races will be like, oh, it's just black people that should go do their thing. But whenever it now comes to their end, they want us to show face. They want us to speak. They want us to say something because they know that we are the showstoppers. They know that literally we can make things happen. But anyways, I leave you to leave me your thoughts in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And this is just for educational purpose, not to come here defame anyone and make anyone feel less. This is us giving our own opinionistic opinion. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining my membership, dropping super thanks. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And guys, let me know what you think. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always see in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys.